Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And Charles and Robert, thank you so much on behalf of my boss for inviting us to participate in the ceremony today. It's really a significant honor, particularly with the veterans of the OSS, a few of whom I have met before at different OSS events. Truly, that's what makes this event really special for us today. The OSS storied lineage continues to inspire and influence the special operations community. The unique capabilities and strategic effects contributed to decisive outcomes during World War II and build a legacy that can be seen in today's USSOCOM. Though we were officially born of the 1987 Nunn-Cohen Amendment, we look to the OSS, as has been mentioned, as our organization's forerunner. When President Truman dissolved the OSS in 1945, several mission areas were absorbed by the War Department, and many were dismantled. However, the services recognized capability gaps and developed service-specific military special operations formations, which were then consolidated under SOCOM in 1987. Though technology, tactics, and procedures have changed, the OSS legacy is evident in our SOF ethos, our people, our training, and our unique warfighting skills. Perhaps most directly linked to the OSS legacy of SOCOM's components is the U.S. Army Special Operations Command, which traces its lineage to OSS operational groups and Jedburgh teams. It is not surprising that an old OSS hand, Colonel Aaron Bank, a Jedburgh and a plank-holding Green Beret, had a seminal role in the creation of Army Special Operations. Like the OSS units they were modeled after, Army SOF provides special reconnaissance, direct action, foreign internal defense, and unconventional warfare capabilities in diverse and often hostile environments worldwide. One need only look at our current Army activities across the globe to witness the legacy of the OSS. As an Air Force Special Operations pilot, I'm honored by the OSS connection to Air Force Special Operations. During World War II, the Army Air Corps developed a special aviation capability to support OSS efforts. Arguably, the most famous outfit was the 492nd Bombardment Group, known as the Carpetbaggers. They worked with the OSS to fly into enemy-controlled areas in Europe to drop OSS agents and supplies to resistance fighters. Similar to their present-day Air Force contemporaries, the Carpetbaggers used special tactics to infiltrate low-level at night through difficult terrain and weather to conduct tactical airlift and precision delivery. Though our mission has expanded to include close air support, penetration, and remotely piloted aircraft, our core tasks remain similar to those of the OSS Air Component. The Navy SEAL and Special Boat units of Naval Special Warfare Command have ties to the OSS's Maritime Unit. Similar to the tasks that Naval Special Operators perform today, the OSS Maritime Unit was tasked with the infiltration of agents, supplying resistance groups by sea, conducting maritime sabotage, and developing specialized maritime surface and subsurface equipment. The OSS played an integral part in developing equipment, tactics, and procedures that have since become fundamental to naval special warfare. Since World War II, Naval SOF have conducted similar activities to the OSS Maritime Unit in Korea, Vietnam, Grenada, among others, and of course are still actively engaged in conflicts today. My exec, a Marine Raider, wouldn't forgive me if I didn't mention the link between the Marines and the OSS. Though our Marine component traces their lineage to the Marine Raiders of World War II, there were upwards of 250 Marines in the OSS. In fact, among the most storied OSS operatives was Marine Colonel Peter Ortiz. In 1943, then Captain Ortiz and two other Jedburghs linked up with the resistance in southeastern France. I'm sure many of you have heard this story, but it's one of my favorites. And as the story goes, during the operation, Ortiz was in a French cafe where several Nazis were drinking and toasting the Nazi high command. Ortiz confronted them with pistols drawn, in his uniform, hitherto concealed by a trench coat, and said, "We've been drinking toast to Hitler all night, and I want to offer a different toast. To the President of the United States." The shocked Germans complied, and then Ortiz made them toast the Marine Corps. If that story doesn't stir Marine pride in the OSS, I'm not sure what will. As a tribute, I'd like to draw a comparison between the OSS and SOCOM highlighting the strategic effects such small formations had during their respective time. General Eisenhower credited the OSS contribution in France to the equivalent of an extra division during Operation Overlord, an effect we try to maintain every day. SOF's impact is evident by the continued demand signal to employ SOF to tackle some of the nation's toughest security challenges, as well as our small footprint presence across the world in support of the geographic combatant commanders. So as we celebrate the 75th anniversary of the OSS, we at SOCOM feel a sense of pride in having carried on the traditions and the mantle of responsibility that our forebears in the OSS so gallantly bore. We feel we are cut from the same cloth as the men and women who represented such a strategic asset. As a mark of this pride, we share their legacy and honor them symbolically in our SOCOM insignia, an adaptation of the OSS unofficial insignia that denotes our acceptance of the OSS mission at the tip of the spear. Thank you all very much.